Hi, I'm Benjamin. This is my book club. Today's video is just a quick sort of haul video. I don't think I'll be doing these too often. I'm trying to cut back a bit on buying books, but I'm not very good at that. So I just wanted to go over some of the stuff I bought recently. Picked up some stuff online, picked up a couple things in a bookshop, and I hit a few op shops recently in secondhand bookstores, and got some good finds, I think, for my shelf. First off, I have just about finished Revelation Space finally. I've got maybe 50 pages left. I'll finish that today. And I'll have a full video review coming out for that one, but suffice to say I really liked it. So I decided that I should probably pick up the second one. So I picked up Redemption Arc, the second book in the series. But I think I'll probably like that one, so I went ahead and got the third one as well, picking up Absolution Gap. And then if I'm getting all those, I might as well just go ahead and get Chasm City. I think I'll read this afterwards. Some people read it after Revelation Space, some people read it before Revelation Space. I think I'll just stick to the original trilogy and then read this one, but let me know what you think. And then just to kind of round out the Alistair Reynolds stuff, everyone said House of Suns is one of his best books, so I went ahead and picked that one up too. I'm thinking we'll probably do a read-along of these books, starting with Absolution Gap. So look forward to that soon. After that, I went to a little used bookstore, and I found these 3 Greg Bear books. Not in the best condition, but they were about $1 each, so it's pretty hard to pass them up. Hegira, which I think turns out to be his first book, seems to be about giant machines marching around the surface of a colony, and then as the colony grows and gets more technology, they learn more and more about the big obelisk machines. It sounds really interesting. It's a bit of a short read. Some people said it's got first novel-itis or something, but I don't know. I'm really excited for this one, actually, so I'm going to read that one soon. Also picked up Vitals. This one's under the ocean, submarine. I love a bunch of scientists dying while studying immortality. It's meant to be quite a good sci-fi thriller. I'm trying to get into thrillers and like sort of crime fiction more. It's never really been my genre, but there's so much of it. If I could just get into it, I'm sure I'll find a lot of stuff to read. So that one looks good as well. And we also picked up Anvil of Stars. It's the second book in the Forge of Gods Anvil of Stars series. I've been told you can read them in any order, but I think I'm going to try and pick up Forge of Gods and read that one first. And I think we might end up doing a read-along for those ones as well. I think Forge of Gods is about an apocalypse story about a world and a colony coming to an end. And Anvil of Stars is the follow-up with the survivors. And based on the blurb, the first one doesn't go well. And then I've actually read Greg Bear before. There somewhere, there it is. Hull 03, which I did enjoy. I struggled a lot with the conception of what the ship and robots and stuff he was talking about looked like. I found his descriptions to be very hard to picture in my mind. I ended up having to stop a couple times and do some little doodles to try and kind of figure out what it all looked like. And at the end, I came away thinking that there were some really good ideas in that book, but it didn't quite land for me. And people online seem to suggest that Blood Music is one of, if not his best book. So I managed to pick up this Sci-Fi Masterworks version. I love these Sci-Fi Masterworks books. I really love the spine on them. I've got a full collection of them out in the living room. So I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know if we'll do a read-along or not for this one, but we might. I'll see how we go. Speaking of Sci-Fi Masterworks, I did finally pick up Flowers for Algernon. It's been suggested to me a lot. I don't think we'll do a read-along for this one. I think this one might be a bit deep and you might figure out that I'm an idiot. But I am excited to read it, and I don't think it'll take very long. And I expect to cry. I expect to cry a lot. So I'll read that one soon. Also, I've just discovered that the Culture Series books are getting new covers this month. And I hate the look of the new covers. So I've had most of these in the small version of the paperback for quite a while. Just missing Accession, Hydrogen Sonata, and Surface Detail, all of which I've got in the big, like this, my first paperback edition, which I don't really like. So I did manage to find a copy of Surface Detail, and I have a copy of Accession in the mail, so I'm just hunting the Hydrogen Sonata one now. And that'll finish off that collection of books, which I love. I'm going to have an upcoming video on the channel talking about the Culture Series. I think I'm going to try and rank them, which is going to be really hard. But they really were kind of my intro into sci-fi when I was younger, and I just adore them. What else do we have here? Oh, I did say I was trying to get into crime fiction. So I asked a bunch of crime fiction booktubers and personalities, and one that kept coming up was The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. So I picked that up in this little Penguin Books edition. I quite like the Penguin Books editions. I think they look quite nice. It seems pretty short. It's a 1930s hard-boiled private detective story, I believe. Kind of like one of the it says it's the definitive hard-boiled detective story. So yeah, where a lot of those tropes come from. So I'm really excited to try and get into that one, because as I said, if I can get into crime fiction, there's just so much to read. So I'd really love any more suggestions along those lines. Almost there. As I said, I'm going to try and not do these too often. I need to save some money. I went to a op shop and I picked up a few good things for very cheap. I finally picked up Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This is the motion picture tie-in cover, which is pretty crappy. I really like the cover on the paperback. I might have a picture of that one up now. But this was $1, so for $1, pretty short read. If I end up reading this and liking it and wanting to continue the Southern Reach trilogy, I'll probably end up picking up the nice versions and donating this one. I also picked up the Deadbeat from the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. I've listened to, I want to say, the first 5 books on Audible in this series, and I've always kind of thought it would look really nice to have the collection. I have just found out there's like 20 books, so I don't know if I'll get the collection, but again, I think this one was $2. Not a bad pickup, pretty good condition, and kind of just the start of that collection, so that'll be nice. The next two, I got these for $2 total, so $1 each Australian, so like 50 cents US. I normally try and read the first book of a series before I buy into the rest of them, but I've broken that rule for a couple books here. I do have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I haven't read it yet, but I plan to. I've heard good things. I've heard it's a bit young adulty, but if you can get past the first quarter or so of the first book, then it really has a lot of meat. So I managed to find Golden Sun and Morning Star, both also by Pierce Brown, to complete that first trilogy of his trilogy. I can't remember what the trilogy's called. Is it the Mars trilogy or? No, it doesn't say. But yeah, that completes that first trilogy. I think he has a second and maybe a third in that series as well. So yeah, we'll get to Red Rising, and I think that is one we might do a read along with if it's got a good chapter structure. Yeah, it looks like they've got chapters. Yeah, I think we might do a read along for that one. That could be a lot of fun. And then finally, actually I lied, not quite finally, but almost finally. I did pick up the second book of The New Sun, Volume 2. Again, Sci-Fi Masterworks. I've got the first version. I haven't read it yet. The plan is to do a read-along of all of these, but not early on in the channel. I want to get a bit of experience before you see how much of an idiot I am, because these are meant to be quite deep reads, and I think they're going to go over my head. But I'm really excited to read them. Book of the New Sun has been very near the top of my TBR for so long, but it's been such a daunting read that I've been putting it off. So I think doing a read-along for it is going to be the kick in the butt that I need for that one. And then finally, I did end up grabbing a few light novels, because I got them on quite a good discount at an anime store. I got the first 3 Overlord books, which I haven't read yet. I need to. I haven't watched the anime or anything either, but a lot of my friends keep telling me that, you know, this is a good intro to fantasy, which is, well, not an intro, but a good way to get into that fantasy sort of jive, which is another one that I I'm not traditionally into fantasy, more sci-fi horror, as you know. So that could be a good way to get into that. I think that's about it. Yeah, so as I said, I don't think I'm going to do these videos too often. I'm trying to read what I have instead of buying more, but, you know, read more, collect less, but, you know, I'm bad at that, so we'll see. So next time I have a nice little bulk of books to go through, I'll throw up another one of these. But thanks for joining me. If you want, hopefully on the screen around here, you should be able to check out one of my book reviews and hopefully whatever the current read-along is. Come join us, we'd love to chat.